Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jeff with Gamestork and lots of Nintendo news. Man, I can't say that enough. It seems like every day there's more pouring in, more games, more interesting things coming our way, and ideas, developers coming out and saying, hey, we might develop something for the Switch. Anyway, we kind of have all that today. Plus, I want to give a little focus at the end to an upcoming indie game that I believe is going to be really good. So, without further ado, let's move right into the news. Cue the intro, please. Gamestork, delivering news, reviews, and playthroughs like a newborn baby. So, I don't know if you guys have heard of this game. It's called Ark Survival Evolved. Well, if you haven't, this is a pretty cool game. And it seems like Ark Survival Evolved developer studio Wildcard has expressed interest in the Nintendo Switch. During an interview with Games Industry, Wildcard co-founder Jesse, if I say this right, if I don't, please forgive me, Rapzak said the system would be a great platform for a game like Ark because if the game is designed right, you can kind of pull out and do some stuff, you know. And he added that the team's investigating and to see what they can do there. So it's a possibility that Ark could come to the Nintendo Switch. He said that one of the challenges, though, is that it's a very different platform. He also brought up that memory in particular could cause a problem in bringing Ark over. But they said that they're throwing around some ideas and, you know, just seeing if it makes sense right now in order to bring this game over. One of the big things about this with new games coming, it seems that I'm feeling this pressure too, is you either have to make the decision to invest in multiple SD cards due to the lack of mini SD cards of a large size. Like, we know the Nintendo Switch can support up to 2 terabytes. However, that's not on the market yet. I mean, right now we're looking at like a 400 gig, and I believe they just announced a 512 or something like that. And at this point, that's still not a lot. Now, I'm more than willing to invest in a 1 terabyte mini SD card to continue going all digital. But the fact is I was trying to avoid with the system, despite the fact that I love physical copies and collecting, I was trying to avoid having to carry around a bunch of cartridges with me. So this is one of those things. I do want to see all these games come, and yes, absolutely, if Ark Survival Evolved comes, I'm absolutely going to purchase it. But let's look real quick at his actual words. I'll have them pop up on the screen here for you so you can see. It says Switch is a little challenging because it's a totally different platform. So we're throwing some ideas around, just seeing if it makes sense right now. We don't have any concrete plans yet, but we're very close to Nintendo up here in Seattle, and we all love the Switch for portability gaming and stuff like that. Ark is one of those games where if you want to do everything you can in the game, it's hard to pull away from it and do real life. So I think Switch is a great platform for a game like Ark, because if the game is designed right, you can kind of pull out and do some stuff. Now, it's kind of like some players play it and almost like you might play a mobile game. You know, you might want to go do something in the game for a few minutes, like tend to your dinos or your crops or something if you play Ark that way. The mobility of the Switch platform might be appealing to those players because they can just kind of carry it with them. So we do have a lot of hurdles there, especially with memory, but I will say for sure we're not ignoring the Switch. I think it's definitely proven to be a platform that is a little bit better this time around for third-party developers, and people are buying it. People are loving the games, and I think it's just something that now is on our radar. So let's take a look at it, and we'll see what we can do there. So it looks like they are trying their best to get this on the Nintendo Switch, and I think it'll be really cool. Any big third-party game like this is good, and it's one that is, you know, it should be welcomed, and eventually, you know, this won't even be a thing in the very near future, having third parties come to the Nintendo Switch. And you know, we early on we're talking about like this, it's a huge deal, but it is. I mean, it's a big deal because of the failure of the Wii U, and every time a big game comes or a big developer shows interest, it shows that Nintendo has turned it around. And at this point, if you don't believe that Nintendo is being very smart, that they made wise decisions, and that the Nintendo Switch will be very successful, then I call you a dummy, my friend, because it's pretty obvious at this point. So talk about being on top. October 17 numbers, Switch has the #1 gaming hardware. The SNES Classic Edition is #2, and also Mario Odyssey is the best-selling game. I don't think that should be a surprise to anyone. Speaking of the SNES Classic, though, I know you guys have probably been having problems and trouble and trying to find this, and you just can't find it. Well, it looks like Reggie Fils-Aimé told the Washington Post that the company is working very hard to get a regular supply out for the remainder of this year, and they're also going to continue making it into next year. He also said that they are upping the Nintendo Switch development as well, or production, so they're going to have a lot more Nintendo Switches. Now the thing here is they're not dropping the price of the Nintendo Switch. Typically people say, well, I'll wait till there's a price drop. Well, the fact is the $299 on this system is a really good price for what you're getting. It is a very good piece of hardware, and I don't see the price dropping anytime soon, especially considering the sales are going so well. If they ever do drop the price, I can see maybe 3 or 4 years down the line, but other than that, I just don't see the sales dropping off enough to justify. This is a system where you can literally take games like that. Even today, as I turned on Skyrim for the first time, I was just like, oh my goodness, like Skyrim is now a portable game. Like, I can take this with me anywhere, and it just blows my mind. But most people would be like, wow, that's a 5-year-old game, blah, blah, blah. Yes, but it's a very open world and something that the Switch isn't supposed to be able to handle, even though Breath of the Wild was on there. I guess I'm speaking to all those naysayers who just relentlessly say the Nintendo Switch can't, even without the facts, just because it has a Nintendo title on it. But we know better, and this is proof that they can do a pretty good job with graphics. It looks good, to be honest, as good as the character models can look on a game that's 5 years old. But I believe that it could look even better. And games like LA Noire, it looks really good as well. So we can see that the Nintendo Switch can handle some pretty good graphics. Moving on, GameStop has some pretty good deals. If you're looking for deals, I guess I could have segued that by saying, speaking of buying things, right? We're all about segues today. But if you look at this list, there's a lot of really good deals. Just feel free to pause or just head over to the website and you can see this listing there. The ones I noticed, I still haven't bought Sonic Forces, and it's one that, considering the fact that it did get such a heavy, just plethora of bad reviews, I figured I'd wait on a price drop, but I don't think that $29.99 is enough. I might wait until it's $20. Xenoverse 2 is definitely worth $24.99, so pick that up. Lego City Undercover is an amazing game, and for $20 you can't beat that. Telltale series is down to $19.99, so on and so forth. So you see that this is a very good list of games with very good deals, and it's, a lot of which are very high quality games, just waiting on you to purchase them and bring them into your family. So there's been a lot of talk about the WWE 2K18. Is it coming? Is it not coming? Is it coming? Is it not coming? It's certainly not coming. We haven't heard anything. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, anyway, but we got some good news. Their team took to Twitter today on WWE Games and said, we haven't forgotten about you, Nintendo Switch fans. Info on the WWE 2K18 Switch release date is coming soon. Now, these guys are working on these games, and there are a ton, people love to hate on Nintendo, alright? And they don't love to hate on Xbox and PlayStation like they do Nintendo. It's just the way it is. So if a developer is having a rough time porting their game over, or, going with fixing the portable mode to where it runs well, they think that it's a hardware problem and this and this and this and that. And all it is they just have to get the game how they want it, and the hardware is just fine. So, yes, it's coming. If you're excited, that's wonderful. You still get WWE 2K18 on the Nintendo Switch. Zelda, yes, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It looks like it has won the Game of the Year at the Golden Joystick Awards. And The Last of Us Part 2 won the Most Wanted game. Zelda is by far my game of the year. Breath of the Wild was amazing. I think it should take everything. There are a lot of good games this year. I'm currently in the middle of one in Assassin's Creed, and it stinks that some of those games did come out this year that were really good, because no matter how good they are, they're going to be overshadowed by this groundbreaking experience in the Breath of the Wild. How everything was just done right, and hopefully with a good bit of DLC, we'll have some more temples, dungeons, and things like that that'll hold us over even longer, because, hey, face it, who doesn't love playing Breath of the Wild? I just wanted to show this really quick. I don't know who's selling it, but I found this online, and there's a literal device that is guaranteed to make you walk off a pier into the water, or into a sewer drain, or just somewhere in front of a car to your death. If you are intent on playing the Nintendo Switch on the go, and you just don't want to hold the system itself, and you want to play with a Pro Controller, well, here you go. Surely, if you are walking around in a busy place, this will kill you, but, you know, you never know, this could be really useful. Personally, I would just rather hold the Joy-Cons on the side and play that way, but this thing, I just thought this was amazing that this is a real thing. So, y'all be sure to let me know below. Would you purchase this? Because I'm very interested. If there is someone out there that's like, yes, I would totally purchase that, and I'd wear that in class, or I'd wear that to work. That's crazy. I also want to say, the EA has announced the EA UFC 3, and I'm a huge fan of that. Now, this is set for the first quarter of next year, and, oh man, I am crossing my fingers and hoping that this game comes to the Nintendo Switch. As of right now, it doesn't look like that there are any plans to bring it over at this time, but a delayed port would be okay too. But man, to have a full-out UFC game on the Nintendo Switch, I think would be great. And this was worth mentioning because this is part of that thing where EA says they want to be a lot more aggressive with their games. Well, I think they should port Madden 18 and also port UFC 3. I think these would be two huge titles, especially to the West, where the majority of who they sell to are men between the ages of 25 and 34. So this is just one of those suggestions. If, you know, just in case the right person ever watched this video, Nintendo, we want UFC 3 on the Nintendo Switch. As a matter of fact, we want Madden 18 on there as well. Or 17, that's fine, because they're about, you know, 18 didn't do too much to innovate the game, so yeah, it's okay. So for the featured game here today, there's this game that has been just, oh man, I have literally been chomping at the bit to play this game, and I you know what, I don't know why. I don't, it seems like it's just the perfect game for me, for the Nintendo Switch. It's something that I'm very interested in, and you might have heard of it, and if not, it's Battle Chef Brigade. And this, it's simple enough. This isn't a very complicated game, but Battle Chef Brigade features fantasy chefs, including orcs, elves, humans, who all need to hunt down monsters for ingredients. Now, with those ingredients before the critical eye of the judges, the chefs create culinary masterpieces in an intense tournament. Battle Chef Brigade pairs one part combo-based action hunting with one part puzzle-based cooking as the all-around clock ticks down. Now this, you literally go hunt your food. You hunt the meat that you cook and things, and then you come in and you play this other style mini-game in order to cook this properly to go before the judges. Now this game seems like it's one of those where you just will love to dig and dig and dig and get everything that you can. Now the main characters that they have listed on their website, we have the main one, which is in most of the advertisements, whose name is Mina. It's a human rogue, who, I guess, favorite food is eggs. And then you have Thrash, who is an orc, who is a berserker, I guess, when you fight. And his favorite food is barbecued ribs, which I have to agree are pretty great. Kieran is an elf cleric, and her favorite food is sponge cake. And then Ziggy is an undead necromancer, and that's really awesome. But ironically, his food of choice is cheeseburger. Now let's hope that these cheeseburgers aren't made by the undead that he summons. I suppose if they still had meat on them, I don't know. That's a terrible thought. Anyway, but this game looks really awesome. It's coming on November the 20th to the Nintendo Switch and also the PC. I have been reaching out to try to get a copy to do a feature on this game, and from my understanding, I could be wrong, but it looks like they don't have, I don't really know how to say that in a nice way. They're not giving out review copies. There you go. I don't know if this is true. but I just literally haven't heard anything back. And on their press kit, it says that they're not set up to do this. So this is one of those where I can't necessarily do a early feature on it. But hopefully for day one, I'll be able to feature this game because it looks really cool and it's really exciting to see. Trinket Studios has done some pretty good work in the past, and I think they'll do great on this. Anyway, that does it for the news today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Be sure to like and subscribe below if you haven't already. Let's get that number up to 4,000 so that we can do a giveaway. And I'll tell you what that is as soon as we hit 3,800, and that way we won't have too far to go in order to, you know, give it away. We got to get on a roll growing this channel together, and I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Thanks so much for watching. Comment below, let me know how you feel about any of this stuff that I've talked about today to no end. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Gamestork, delivering news, reviews, and playthroughs like a newborn baby.